Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that might shake you up a little. Life doesn't hand out trophies for potential. It crowns those who play the game, who get back up, who refuse to bow out just because the odds don't look fair. If you're tired of watching others win, tired of feeling stuck, tired of letting fear hold the pen to your story, then this moment, right here, right now, this is for you. Let's talk about 9 rules to win at life. Not to survive it, not to drift through it, but to win. Rule #1, win the war in your mind. Your greatest enemy isn't out there, it's in here. If you don't take authority over your thoughts will take authority over your life. Rule #2, stop negotiating with your purpose. You weren't created to play it safe. Stop sitting at the table with excuses and start dining with destiny. Rule #3, obedience over outcome. Success isn't always about the result. It's about saying yes even when the road looks uncertain. Rule #4, confidence is a decision, not a personality trait. You don't need to feel bold to be bold. Step up scared, show up uncertain, but never sit down. Rule #5, your circle is your future. If the people around you aren't pushing you toward growth, they're pulling you toward mediocrity. Choose wisely. Rule #6, progress over perfection. Perfection is the enemy of movement. Start ugly, start messy, just start. Rule #7, own your assignment. Comparison is a thief, and regret is its accomplice. You were never called to live their life. You were called to live yours. Rule #8, don't shrink to fit places you've outgrown. You don't have to apologize for evolving. You don't have to explain your elevation. When God promotes you, move. Rule #9, stay anchored in gratitude. Winners aren't the ones with the most, they're the ones who recognize what they've been given and multiply it. These aren't just rules, these are battle cries, these are declarations. This is a framework to wake up every morning and say, I will not be defined by what happened. I will be driven by what's possible. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, the real question is not can you win at life? The real question is, are you ready to stop losing to what you were never meant to serve? Because when you walk in purpose, when you think with clarity, when you move in faith, you don't just live life. You win it. 10 key points of the speech. Winning begins in the mind. Mental discipline is foundational. Purpose requires action, not excuses. Obedience and consistency beat uncertain outcomes. Confidence is built through decisions, not feelings. Your inner circle shapes your destiny. Progress matters more than perfection. Authenticity beats comparison every time. Growth means outgrowing some environments. Gratitude multiplies your impact. Winning is about aligning with purpose, not chasing applause. Would you like this as a printable poster or want me to create a short version for social media or video? Certainly. Here's an expanded version of *** key point 1 ***. Winning begins in the mind. * written in the passionate, conviction-filled style you requested, with no subtitles or conclusions, and in a longer format. Everything you've ever achieved, every moment you've ever triumphed, and every battle you've ever lost, it all began in one place, your mind. Long before the world sees the results, long before the breakthrough shows up in your bank account, or your relationships, or your reputation. The real battle is fought behind your eyes in the space no one sees, but everyone feels the effect of. You can't win in life if you're losing in your head. That quiet voice, that inner dialogue, that narrative you've been rehearsing for years, it's either fueling your future or sabotaging it. And here's the dangerous part. The enemy doesn't always need to attack your environment if he can occupy your mind. Because if he can get you to believe you're not worthy, not capable, not chosen, he doesn't need to stop you. You'll stop yourself. Most people don't lose because they're weak, they lose because they've surrendered mentally long before they were ever tested physically, emotionally, or spiritually. It's not the weight of the world that crushes you, it's the way you carry it in your mind. It's not the circumstance that keeps you stuck, it's your belief that you're stuck. It's not the opposition that holds you back, it's the inner narrative that says, I can't, I'm not enough, what's the point? Every dream God placed in your heart comes with resistance, but not every resistance is external. You can have the talent, the opportunity, and the resources, but if your mind is infected with doubt, if it's saturated with fear, if it's chained by shame or haunted by failure, it will sabotage every blessing that tries to break through. And that's why you have to win up here first. You have to start talking to yourself differently. You have to stop echoing your past and start declaring your purpose. You have to replace the lies that have been looping for years with the truth of who you are and what you are called to do. You've got to stop letting thoughts run wild like squatters in your soul and start evicting every toxic, limiting, cowardly idea that dares to trespass on your calling. Because the mind doesn't just respond to truth, it reflects what it's been fed. And some of us have been feeding it fear, feeding it negativity, feeding it rejection for so long that it's become the default setting. But hear me, just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's true. And just because it's loud doesn't mean it has authority. You don't need perfect circumstances to win at life. You need a made-up mind, a mind that says, even if I feel afraid, I will move forward. Even if I fail, I will rise again. Even if I don't see it yet, I will keep believing. A made-up mind that refuses to sit in self-pity, that doesn't need validation from people who don't see your value, that doesn't wait for motivation to obey the mission. And let's be real, some of us aren't defeated by our enemies, we're defeated by our own internal agreement with limitation. It's time to break that agreement, it's time to rewire what we've rehearsed, to stop replaying every wound and start rewriting the narrative, because a renewed mind leads to a transformed life, and you can't live victorious if your thoughts are still stuck in victim mode. You don't have to wait to feel strong to start thinking strong. Take every thought captive, call it out, challenge it, replace it, because once you win there, once you win in your thoughts, nothing out there can hold you back. The mind is the first battlefield, and if you win there, you win everywhere else. Would you like me to continue with key point 2 in a similar format? Of course. Here's the expanded version of *** key point 2 ****. Stop negotiating with your purpose. * delivered in the same energetic, bold, and conviction-driven style, with no subtitles and no conclusion. Too many people are trying to fulfill a divine purpose with a divided heart. They want clarity but still flirt with compromise. They want direction but keep debating their assignment like it's up for renegotiation. But purpose doesn't negotiate, it commands, it calls, it disrupts. It confronts, it doesn't knock gently, it breaks the silence of your soul and says, this is what you were made for. And the problem is, we're too busy trying to bargain with something that was never meant to be optional. Purpose is not a suggestion, it's not a side hustle. It's not something you squeeze in between your insecurities and your comfort zone. It is the reason you are breathing, the reason you're still here. The reason life didn't take you out when it had the chance. But we keep asking for confirmation when God already gave us the command. We keep praying for a sign when He already gave us a word. We want to feel ready before we act, but purpose doesn't wait on your feelings to get in line. Purpose moves when obedience steps up. And here's the truth that stings. ***, you can't be powerful and passive at the same time. ***. Some of you have been negotiating with your purpose like it's a business deal, trying to customize it, trying to make it more convenient, trying to fit it into a schedule it was never meant to respect. But purpose is not here to be convenient. It's here to stretch you, to wreck your excuses, to pull you out of what's familiar and into what's eternal. You can't keep asking your calling to be comfortable. That's not how it works. Your purpose isn't interested in your preferences, it's interested in your yes. It's not looking for your conditions, it's looking for your surrender. You weren't created to negotiate with fear or to sit at the table with insecurity and let it convince you to downsize your destiny. Every time you try to water down your assignment, you're delaying the impact you were born to make. Every time you wait for perfect timing, perfect conditions, Perfect confidence, you're giving the enemy space to fill your silence with doubt. Stop asking for a discount on a full price calling. Purpose will cost you something. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you certainty. It will cost you the version of you that's obsessed with playing it safe. But hear me, it will be worth it. Because when you stop negotiating, when you stop second guessing, when you stop putting your purpose on hold while you entertain your fears, that's when things shift. That's when doors open. That's when gifts are activated. That's when heaven gets involved. Not when you feel qualified. Not when people approve. But when you decide, finally, to stop playing small and show up for what you are called to do. There comes a moment when you realize that the delay is not from the outside, it's from within. It's not the enemy blocking you, it's your indecision. It's not lack of opportunity, it's your reluctance to commit. You're stuck not because you're incapable, but because you keep treating your purpose like a hobby instead of a holy assignment. And so, here's the shift. You don't need more time, you need more resolve . You don't need more signs, you need more conviction . You don't need everyone to understand you, you just need to be unavailable to anything that distracts you from what God has already confirmed in you. This is not the season to stay silent about what you were born to do. This is not the moment to entertain the voices that say you're not ready, you're not enough, you're too much. This is the moment to silence every doubt with a declaration. I'm done negotiating with my purpose. It's time to walk in it. Would you like me to expand key point 3 in the same style? Absolutely. Here's the expanded version of key point 3 obedience over outcome. Delivered in the same powerful, no subtitle, no conclusion format and extended in length. We've been trained to chase outcomes. We're conditioned to measure success by results, by recognition, by visible fruit. But in the kingdom, success is not based on what you see it's based on what you obey . And that shift changes everything. Because there will be moments in your life where obedience doesn't look like progress. There will be seasons when doing exactly what God told you to do doesn't produce the applause, the affirmation, or the breakthrough you expected. But if obedience requires outcomes to be validated, then it was never obedience, it was a transaction. Obedience doesn't guarantee immediate clarity. It doesn't always make sense to the people around you. And it almost never aligns with your comfort, but it aligns with your calling, and calling is deeper than results. Because obedience has never been about where you end up, it's about who you're becoming on the way there. And God is more interested in shaping your character than delivering your outcomes. See, we've made idols out of outcomes. We say, if it works, it must be right. If it grows, it must be God. But growth doesn't always mean obedience, and delay doesn't always mean disobedience. Sometimes God will withhold the outcome just to see if you're still willing to obey when it's not producing what you want. Because true obedience isn't revealed in the easy seasons, it's revealed in the dark ones. The dry places, the quiet chapters, the moments where there's no visible reward, but there's still a word you're standing on. And let me speak this plainly, some of the greatest victories in your life won't come from grinding harder or strategizing smarter, they'll come from simple obedience. That whisper from the Holy Spirit that doesn't always make logical sense, that tug on your heart that says go, even when you want to stay, that let it go, when everything in you wants to hold on, that forgive, when bitterness feels more comfortable, that step out, when fear tells you to stay small. Obedience is radical because it refuses to be swayed by circumstance. It walks by faith, not by sight. And if you only move when the outcome is guaranteed, you're not walking in faith, you're walking in control. But God doesn't bless control, He blesses surrender. He blesses the heart that says, even if it doesn't work the way I thought, I'll still do what you said. Sometimes obedience looks like building a boat in the middle of a drought. Sometimes it looks like marching around a wall that doesn't even have a crack in it. Sometimes it looks like standing still when every instinct in you is screaming to run. And sometimes obedience means losing the approval of people to keep the approval of God. It means trusting that He sees the whole picture when all you can see is the pain of the process. You've got to make peace with this. You are not responsible for the outcome. You are responsible for the obedience. That's your lane. That's your assignment. Because when you obey, you give God permission to handle the rest. And let me tell you, He does better with the outcomes than you ever could. It's not your job to open every door. It's not your job to predict the timeline. It's not your job to manipulate the results. Your job is to say yes, when it would be easier to say not yet. Your job is to keep moving even when there's no applause, no spotlight, and no confirmation except the quiet confidence that you're walking where you were told to walk. We have to stop measuring faithfulness by fruitfulness. Because sometimes God calls you to sow in a season where there's no harvest. Sometimes He calls you to plant in a field you may never get to harvest from, but obedience is never wasted. Every act of obedience sets something in motion whether you see it or not. Every yes in the unseen is building something eternal. And if you can get that in your spirit, if you can truly trust that obedience is success, even when the outcome isn't what you expected, then you'll stop hesitating. You'll stop comparing, you'll stop holding your obedience hostage until you feel more certain or more qualified. You'll move when God says move. You'll speak when He says speak. You'll stay when He says stay. Not for applause, not for validation, but because obedience is worship. Obedience is honor. Obedience is love in motion. Would you like to continue with key point 4 in this style? Certainly. Here's the *** expanded version of key point 4. Confidence is a decision, not a personality trait, ***, written in the same passionate, bold, high-impact style, without a subtitle or conclusion, and in large extended length. We have been lied to about confidence. We've been told it's something you either have or you don't, like eye, color, or height. We've bought into the idea that some people are just naturally bold, naturally courageous, naturally self-assured, and the rest of us are left to admire them from a distance, as if confidence was some genetic lottery we didn't win. But let me shake that lie to the ground right now. Confidence is not a personality trait, it's a * decision *. It is a * choice * to show up even when the fear is loud. It is a daily act of defiance against insecurity, against shame, against the past trying to pull you back into smallness. Confidence isn't loudness, it's not arrogance, it's not walking into a room and needing to be the center of attention. Real confidence is quiet, it's stable, it's rooted. It's the kind of inner resolve that doesn't need external affirmation to stand firm. It's not about being the boldest voice in the room, it's about being the clearest one in your own mind. And sometimes confidence looks like trembling hands and a steady heart that still says, I'm going to do this scared. We keep waiting to * feel * confident before we move. But confidence doesn't show up first * you do *. Confidence isn't what makes you act. * acting is what builds confidence. * the enemy wants you to think you have to feel 100% ready before you step up. But if you wait for that moment, you'll miss your assignment. You'll stay sitting on ideas that were supposed to set people free. You'll stay hiding behind the excuse that I'm not like them. When God never asked you to be like them, He called you to be * you *. Confidence is forged in the fire of obedience. It's built every time you show up to the thing you were afraid of. Every time you raise your hand when everything in you says, stay quiet. Every time you open your mouth when insecurity says, you don't belong here. Confidence is a choice to * believe what God says about you, * even when what you feel about yourself tries to disagree. It doesn't mean you won't have fear. It means fear doesn't get the final vote. You stop consulting your emotions for permission to move forward. You stop letting your past resume decide your future position. Confidence isn't denying your flaws, it's deciding they won't disqualify you. It's standing in full awareness of your imperfections and still saying, I'm called, I'm chosen, I'm here, and I'm not backing down. And hear me, confidence isn't about comparing yourself to others and deciding you measure up. It's about measuring yourself by the call on your life and deciding to rise to it. You don't need to be the smartest, the loudest, the most eloquent. You just need to be present. You just need to say yes. Confidence says, I may not have everything figured out, but I'm not going to let what I don't know stop me from walking in what I do know. Some of you are praying for boldness like it's going to fall on you like magic. But boldness doesn't drop out of the sky. Boldness is built in the trenches through action, through resistance, through repetition. You want more confidence? Take more courageous steps. Start small if you have to. Speak the truth in a room full of silence. Raise the idea in the meeting where you usually stay quiet. Apply for the position you talked yourself out of before you even tried. Confidence is cultivated in motion. It doesn't live in theory, it lives in action. And don't let the enemy convince you that confidence is pride. Pride needs to be seen. Confidence needs to be authentic. Pride pushes people down to feel tall. Confidence stands tall so others can stand with you. There is a version of you that doesn't flinch every time doubt knocks. There is a version of you that doesn't ask for permission to be powerful. There is a version of you that doesn't question their value every time something goes wrong. But you won't meet that version of you by sitting and waiting to feel ready. You meet that version when you decide to show up as her, as him, as the person God already sees when he looks at you. Confidence is not a reward for those born with charisma. It is the armor for those who choose to walk by faith and not by sight. So when fear starts whispering again, when insecurity starts crawling back into your thoughts, don't wait for confidence to arrive. Declare it, step into it, wear it like a decision, not a feeling. Because when you choose confidence in the middle of fear, that's not just brave that's transformational . Would you like to move on to key point 5 in this same format?